JLogR here. Welcome back to the channel. I am recording a video for my experience from Bandai's Card Game Fest 2023 to 2024 World Tour. I just got back from LA a couple days ago. Funny enough, went to a local yesterday. But I just wanted to talk about my experience. I'm going to kind of show you my haul. Off the bat, I scrubbed out near the end. I don't know if I'm going to put it on the video here. I had the national invite 2 round bye. I lost my first match when I started, and we'll talk back about it later. Went X1 all the way to round 7, and then lost my second match, thinking that I can still probably make it up to be for day 2, because day 2 is top 64. So X2s technically have a chance to be top 64 and try to go for the win for the next day. But I scrubbed out after. So round 7, 8, no, 7, 8, 9. I went X1 all the way to round 7. Then 8, 9, 10, I lost. So I ended up being X4. And then from there, they ended the tournament early. I wouldn't say early. I'll talk about that in a second. But first, we'll go through the haul. I pre-ordered the sleeves. It was a weird process for Canadians to pre-order because Premium Bandai does not ship to Canada. So I actually reached out to Bandai to see how I can place the pre-order, because apparently the black and gold ones of the sleeves were sold out. You get 70 of these in one pack, which is cool, instead of just the 10 like other One Piece event stuff. And then I pre-ordered the Gear 5 Luffy playmat. Bottom right corner, I'm blocking the camera, is the Bandai Card Game World Tour logo there. And I met a cool guy that was in the line for buying product that I purchased this mat from. So it's like the full double mat, but it's just the Robin side. So I thought that was cool. Wanted to pick that up. So sleeves and the mat was the pre-order. I did one side event, scrubbed out as well, and just got participation. So I got Sasuke. This, you get the Luffy, vanilla Luffy. There's going to be a lot of different versions of this around. Like the first anniversary winter card, there's an alternate version of this. This one has a stamp for the Bandai Card Game Fest. And then a bunch of random goodies. This is just a QR code. I don't know if anyone wants to scan it. It just brings you to some a music playlist, all based off of One Piece stuff. There was, I forget it, Union Arena was happening. Didn't really get a chance to sign up for the Learn to Play, and I'll kind of explain why. But yeah, that's a cool card of Ichigo. Not sure what action point is. I didn't get a chance to learn it. The Luffy card came in this pack. So there's a Battle Arena card, excuse me, and a Digimon card. So it's 3 cards in there, I believe, that including the Luffy. This one doesn't apply to me. This, I just thought it looked cool. It is obviously the same artwork of the playmat. It was just getting free shipping from Premium Bandai. But once again, I'm from Canada. This does not apply to me. So that is just going to be kept to the side. There was a lot of packs. It's basically reprints of all the tournament packs and other things that previously that you get. And then Nami being one of the most expensive ones. So I was lucky to pull Nami, Luffy, and then I did a couple trades. So I did get a Nokiku and Izo, but the second Izo here, I was helping. If you watched my previous video of my of Deep Patel's deck profile, He from his prizings, he is trying to collect a master collection of like a play set of each card, including the 10 dawns. So I was just helping him finish that. So I traded whatever uh, smaller ones that is probably harder to move. So he traded Ezo to me for it. I believe I got Black Maria. So Black Maria blocker, uh, the Luffy, the Shonen Jump promo Luffy one. And I'm forgetting the other one that I traded him, but there's Barto. Uh, he traded me the Yamato, so I got the Izo and Yamato off the trade, and then Sentamaru. Uta from the first Treasure Cup event pack. So a reprint of that just has the championship stamp, and the one that I'm keeping for sure. I'm probably moving all of these because of how expensive these cards are, which is kind of crazy. But I'm gonna keep this one. I like keeping this for like my Zoro deck and having this as like the one to put under Zoro. Uh, but those are the cards that I got from my pulls. We'll kind of just set everything kind of up to the top here. Uh, but yeah, I showed up Thursday, the day before pre-registration. I got an extra event, one of these extra ones, and these packs came with like 2 to 4, depending on what the packs were, 2 to 4 cards in it, which is cool because when you looked at the entire list of all the cards that you can potentially get, it was a lot of cards. So collecting these are not feasible, especially at how expensive each card is now, because obviously you can only get these by participating, right? So, but yeah, arrived the Thursday, uh, showed up the Friday for the pre-registration, met up with a couple of the guys, and then play tested throughout the night. And then Friday, sorry, that was for Friday. Saturday, it was the main event. We were told that it was going to start at 9:30. So 9:30, we showed up earlier. One of the guys from my Airbnb was lucky enough to get into the event without the national invite. So he had to play the 2 rounds where we had the 2 round bye. So walking around, funny enough, the scavenger hunt, as you can see from the badge for a player here, there was 8 spots to go for the scavenger hunt. I only did the One Piece related things and then one of the manga related things there. I didn't finish the scavenger hunt because the what you get at the end of it, if you finish everything, was the 4 card promo. I'm too lazy to go grab it, but the 4 card promo from Gen Con. So I had a playset of those already, so I didn't need those, and wanted to just leave it for other people to have. Because by the time I started doing the scavenger hunt, a lot of the stuff was starting to run out. Like the where you get the gold dawn, you were also getting the Nami sleeves and the Luffy sleeves. But by the time I did it, they were out of it, which is fine. I have a playset of both of those sleeves, so it's good that other people were able to get it. But throughout the day, it was kind of like all over the place. Uh, I'll be honest with you, this was the most unorganized event I've ever experienced. Been to Montreal. I've been to Gen Con. Gen Con was pretty smooth in regards to the how the tournament was run, but there was no schedule. There wasn't an actual schedule that was kind of this is when the tournament starts. These are the times of the rounds, or expected times of the rounds. These are when the side event starts, etc., etc. The only major things that they put on, excuse me, on the schedule is like for the finalists kind of things. So I think it was noon is when the first 2 rounds started. Apparently, the first round had a repair. There was an issue with the pairing, and then it was just all over the place from there. By the time I played my first match as a 2 round bye as a national invitee, it was 3:30 p.m. LA time. That was equivalent to 6:30 p.m. In Canada, or in the area that I currently live in. So waited from 9:30 to 3:30 to play. Sat down, met my opponent, and then one of my friends popped up, and he was like, "Ask your opponent what his record is." I found out my opponent was X1, and then on my first match, I'm like, "Why am I facing X1?" I noticed that I was in the lower tables too, like 900 something. So I'm like, having a 2 round bye, I should be in the higher tables. So it was kind of weird. So they made a mistake. They had to manually plug in all the 2 round bye players, so all the national invite people, into the tournament, which was, I can't even imagine how complicated that would have been for the event organizers to do. But why do it in that process? So like I just felt like the pairings of everything was kind of like all over the place. So that took like another 15 to 30 minutes to pair. So technically speaking, first match started at 4 o'clock. Lost my first match. It was whatever. I already had a like kind of a mental expectation of I don't have to go EXO first day, so there is wiggle room for me to still place. So the first round loss did not phase me throughout the day. But when it came to us starting, it's 4 o'clock. Apparently, we were told that the venue closes like 7, 8 o'clock. No one knew what the actual time was. It was kind of, he said that, she said that. It was all over the place. So like, how are we supposed to do at least 11 rounds in total for the day? Like, physically speaking, timing wise, it didn't make sense. So I was expecting maybe they're gonna cut off a certain part and just continue off on the next day. But throughout the rounds, the tournament organizers made announcements. We're going all the way through all 11 rounds. We're gonna be doing it. We're gonna be doing it. By the time it was 11:30 ish, we're all waiting for the next round. So 11:30 p.m., almost midnight, at the Los Angeles Convention Center, and then they announced tournament's over, get out. Right. So everyone that was X2, X3, for me at this point, I've already lost. I ended up being X4 by the time before they announced the next round. So for me, I was like at least 512, top 512. Out of almost 2,000 players. It was supposed to be capped at 2,500, but I think the total amount of players was 1,900 and something. It was just infuriating for a lot of people because a lot of people in my group should have been top 64. For me, I wasn't in it. That's fine. But the fact that most of the guys that were in my group had the potential of being top 64, playing for top cut for the next day for the win, right? But because they ended at 10 rounds, because by the time at 10 rounds, there was 3 XOs. If there was 3 XOs, that means there was supposed to be 2 more rounds, so 12 rounds. 12 rounds that needed to be completed to give everyone a fair shot of what the pairings would be. Now, with the tournament ending at 10 rounds with 3 XOs, that means there's more X1s, more X2s. So the amount of X1s, I don't know the actual numbers, but basically booted a lot of X2s. I've had a video of one of the last deck profile videos I did with Fook Din. He ended up being top 64, going to the next day, which is great. But he first day he lost his last 2 rounds. So round 9 and 10, he lost his last 2 rounds. XO throughout the whole thing. Tiebreakers put him in like 37th out of 64 for the top cut, being X2. So, and then, so it was only X2s, but some X2s were booted out of the top 64. That was all caused for the decision to just end the tournament. And I'm like, I know in the other nationals, I'm not sure which location, where they lost all the pairings and had to manually do everything back again. And it was a really bad mess up. But deciding to end the tournament early like that was a horrible decision. I know this event was free for us to attend, but it was also free for all the people that did not get a national invite. And then uh, I just felt like the national invite, having one, didn't mean anything. It really didn't. Like there wasn't any perks to have it. Yes, we had 2 round bye, so but by the time we started, it was like I might as well have played earlier. I would have rather played earlier, right? So I don't know why it was converted to an open tournament. I guess they wanted more players to play, but it being a free event, and then also them having, like, they were catering towards basically all the people that weren't invited from the nationals and the spectators. Spectators were allowed to enter at 1 p.m. and meaning the scavenger hunt wasn't allowed to start until 1 p.m. So me like sitting around from 9:30 to 3:30 doing nothing until like 1 o'clock. Uh, they weren't selling cards. They had OPO5 going for 107 USD like for a booster box, but what I heard from other friends that the producer from One Piece was there, basically overhearing that people wanted to scalp these boxes. And then the producer apparently realized what the North American market's like for a One Piece card game. So the OPO5, how it's been scarce, no one's been able to get product, how expensive it is to get it from local card stores, from what do you call it? From distributors and everything like that. And he, pardon my language, flipped his shit. He basically was like, that's not how it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be accessible for everyone, which caused him to make the decision to not sell booster boxes, but limit it to 5 packs per person. If everyone bought booster boxes, not anyone would, like, no one would be able to get, like, not everyone would be able to get a booster box, which is reasonable. 5 packs per person, but the lineup for just buying for 5 packs when it was long for both days. Like it was a couple hour wait just to get to the front of the line. So if you had a friend that was in line for you while you're playing your matches, and in between the match you just try to go back into the line, it was just all over the place. Like why weren't the national invites had the perk to shop first, start the scavenger hunt early, have benefits of having the national invite? Yeah, it was just kind of all over the place. And that's, I think, the main theme of it. In regards of what I've played, uh, I played Sakazuki. I don't know if there's really no point for me to do a deck profile. I think the biggest tech I have in this deck is I play the ulti instead of Hina, and I do play 110 drop uh, Kaido, and then I think I passed him. 1 9 drop Mihawk, which was good for the mirror match. My matchups were basically all Sakas, all Sakas and Enels, and then one Zoro. I think I had it written down here somewhere. Give me a second. So round 2 bye. First match I lost to Enel. Mirror match, Enel, Zoro. Then I noted I noted down my opponent Fiend Union because I faced him before. Lost to him before back when I was playing Red Luffy, and he was playing Red Green Law, and he was the first person I ever lost to Red Green Law to with my Luffy deck. My Luffy deck was really good against Red Green Law, so he's a great player. He was a good player. That was the match that made me plummeted throughout the rest of the evening, because you can see my next 2 matches against Enel and Saga I lost. I just went through a losing streak from there. I got tilted, not towards Fee. Uh, he's a great player. I played like amazing in regards to that matchup. It's just I made a misplay at the end. I made a dumb decision that cost me the game, and all I had to do is let go of. He was poking at my brand new. There's a lot more context in regard to what happened, but he was poking at my brand new. I should have just let him go because he had no way to go for a game at that point. And then I could have just won on the crackback. I had board control. I had card advantage, and I was just gonna win. But I made a mistake, and I heavily, I don't know what the phrase I'm trying to say, but it caused me to kind of lose my mindset of my next couple of matches, lose my confidence, lose my concentration, because this deck you have to play safe. You have to play not I wouldn't say consistent, but like understand your matchups. And my matchups being Enel and Sokka, just back to back. I lost to two Enels. Reason being is back to back 7-drop Enel. That has been a problem, and as you can see on Giannis, the winner of the tournament, as you can see his event like deck list, he's playing four of the 7-drop Enels, the rush Enels. Dealing with one is fine. For me, my tech is ulti. I can use ulti to bottom deck early. Of the 7-drop Enel, they have to do the effect to save it, and then I just poke to trash cards from their hand, and then I guarantee the removal by like a Helmblaze or something like that. So I do a double removal on the Enel. But if there's two Enels on board and I wasn't able to remove the first one the turn before, it's game over. Like poking 7/7 and an even leader, but also playing like Yamatos or Katakuris back to back, there is no way of recovering from that. You're not going to have a board because they're not caring about your life. They're just going to poke on your characters and just be aggressive. So there was that was my luck. I was telling a lot of the people in my group, I was like, watch out for the 7-drop Enels because that's what I was experiencing. Everyone's playing a play set before. Like in my community, a lot of them was just playing maybe one or two, but here in the States, everyone's playing a four of, like, which is a good tech against Sakazuki because it was the most represented deck, alongside with Enel and Katakuri. I felt like it was the most represented throughout, like just walking around and see everyone's kind of leaders during the matches. But yeah, I don't know. It was a great experience going and then trying to win for a nationals. This is my first nationals of any kind of card game. But going through these like regionals and treasure cups in person, I've had an expectations of how it's supposed to be ran. And then I know it was a mixture of core TCG and play TCG that was running this event apparently, but it plummeted. It plummeted. It was a really bad. Uh, I'm seeing other videos, social media videos out there, not really talking about their experience of how bad this event was ran. I just wanted an event about it. This is about a 20-minute long video already, so I don't want to go too far into it now. Uh, but deck profile wise is typical Sakazuki. Didn't get much participation stuff out of it, but I did get some value out of these. I am moving and selling these cards because there's really no point for me to hold on to it. I'm only mainly keeping the Dawn as memorabilia. This one, keeping that as memorabilia. Maybe keep the Nami, but it's like $350 Canadian. So like I'm gonna sell it. I am in a treasure cup this weekend. Whoops. I'm in a treasure cup this weekend, so I am going to be recording my matches. I will be running Sakazuki. Excuse me. Yes, it is the meta deck. Yes, I've been playing red, but red has not been doing too well. I've been grinding out RP Law, Ace, Zoro. Not really much of Zoro. But RP Law and Ace has been my other decks I've been playing a lot. But for kind of the same idea of my gameplay, remove board, swing face, Sokka is more consistent with doing it. So Going to be running that at the Treasure Cup this weekend, so there's going to be recorded matches I'll be posting on my channel. I am still trying to figure out the in-person stuff that I want to do for the channel. I know I haven't been posting much and not being consistent, but now that Nationals is over, Worlds is coming up. Obviously, I'm not in that, but I want to look into that one, maybe to like commentating on the live stream for it. But this month is Treasure Cups. Next month is regionals. I might be going to Peoria for a regional, in-person regional, and then there's gonna be another Niagara one later this year. So trying to make more content, more in-person stuff. But if I'm in these online events, I'm gonna be recording all my matches and posting them for content. But if you stuck throughout this whole video, my whole rant, I don't know. I definitely missed out on some things or explaining more, but yeah, uh, that is my experience at the at Nationals, One Piece Nationals, Bandai Card Game World Tour. Nothing on Bandai's side. They did, I think, like one thing I saw. Sorry, before this video ends, one thing that I saw on Twitter is that the Bandai producers, like the One Piece card game producers, like the creator, the producer, and then some of the other guys, close to the finals, where they were recording the matches, not at the big stage, they were sitting on the floor. I know, like, why were they sitting on the floor? They're up in front, yes. They probably didn't want to obscure everyone's view of the match that was going on, but you have the creator of the game sitting on the floor, the dirty floor. Like, this is like the concrete part. Like, watching a game, right? They're excited, they're happy, I get it, but cater towards your, in a sense, I'm not gonna say boss or anything, but like you gotta treat them well, right? Have them have a front seat, comfortable seat, so they can watch the match. Not let them sit on the floor. Yeah, that's crazy. That baffled me. Uh, I think our tournament organizers have to do better. They have to show Bandai that we can do it. I'm perplexed in regards of this event that happened. But I still love the game. I'm still going to continue playing. I just wanted to vent about it. So if you stuck this long throughout the video, like, subscribe, comment. If you were at Nats, tell me your experience because it was all over the place for me. But it is what it is. So yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.